I just want to bring up some things that's going on right now in terms of sim racing drama. And if you are fond of sim racers on YouTube, I'm sure that you've seen uh, Mike at SimRacing604 is under pressure and receiving copyright strikes, seemingly in retaliation for a video that he posted recently warning, I guess, the sim racing community about a certain company that is purportedly trafficking stolen content, making car mods, and rather than making original content and distributing it to the community like everybody else, these people are pirating other people's content and then passing it off as their own, charging money for it, which is a terrible thing in the sim racing community because, or at least from my experience, the sim racing community is a pretty dedicated bunch of people, and it thrives on goodwill and honesty. And so, just as much as you'll run into all kinds of idiots at turn one at Monza, or turn one practically anywhere, and some people who just have to win, or somebody like me who has to lose, yeah, whatever. So I'm sure you'll find all kinds of crazy people, especially people who just get into a new kind of hobby or interest. All of a sudden, it becomes gospel to them. It sets up all kinds of strange situations. But for the most part, my experience has been when I'm participating in the sim racing community is a bunch of people who are pretty much the same as me. Might not look like me, but are interested in the same things and are interested in good races and hanging out and doing the right things. So when you see somebody like Mike Smith being threatened, because I imagine this is part of his livelihood, he's got what have I got there? I'll come up on screen. He's got 28,000 subscribers now. And I remember a few years ago when he had a few subscribers. And so it's been wonderful to watch as he develops his channel and develops a community, because he seems to be genuinely an honest person who does his very best to provide the best information, and then goes out there, organizes sim races for people. All in all, totally positive influence in sim racing. I guess one of the saints. So it shouldn't be any surprise when you see people going after him. The amount of support that I've seen for him is wonderful. It's pretty ridiculous that a person like me is making a little video like this, because I typically have no viewers. But I think it's important for everybody that is part of this community to stand up against this kind of behavior. Somebody coming after one of our own. I can't really go into all the details of it because I'm not really sure of it. So it's always a good idea, if you don't know about the stuff, to keep your mouth shut. But there's a tremendous amount of information available out there on the net if you're interested in Googling it. So if you go and Google SimRacing604, you'll find any number of videos from other content creators. They're stating that they support him with no question. I see Aiden Millward and Ermin Hamidovich, Chris Hayes, Random Call Sign. I can't remember Random Call Sign's proper name, which is kind of silly. So I went out and I mentioned the situation to a couple of NASCAR aficionados that I know, and they're interested. They're not necessarily sim racers themselves, but they're interested in it, and they see all their NASCAR heroes doing that in the off season, etc. So I guess it's important to spread the word out there. Hopefully, there won't be any more developed from Mike. There seems to be this sort of a fear that if you get your 3 strikes, then that's it for you, which seems arbitrary and ridiculous, but you have to have rules. I certainly hope that if that ever happens, the community would get together to find a different way to bring Mike and bring him back, because this seems to be a pretty ridiculous thing. Anyways, that's about my blethering about it. Mike, we love you and all the things that you do, so I hope this works out well for you. And for the people that are coming after you, they'll come knocking on my door, buddy. I'll tell you what.